comes down to this. Every landing that was stuck.
Wow, back-to-back 10s.
Every grab that was missed. Every moment of the season. Come on, come on. Win or lose.
Not just a stick, but like, wow.
That's unbelievable. There's just one more night that matters.
They're standing on their feet, they're begging for it.
Win tonight, and you walk away a champion forever.
Every gymnast wants to feel this right here.
The Pac-12 Gymnastics Championships are next.
One of the most amazing scenes in all of college athletics. It's the best crowd in college gymnastics. It's the biggest night of the college season. It's the Pac-12 Women's Gymnastics Championships, and it's live right now on the Pac-12 Networks, presented by State Farm. Hi everybody, welcome to Salt Lake City and the loudest arena in the country. Jim Watson alongside the Olympic gold medalist Amanda Borden. We're about to get to session number 2. Utah, UCLA, Stanford, Oregon State. But before we look ahead, let's look back at session 1 from the afternoon. 4 teams went earlier today. It came down to a 3-way battle, and Arizona came out on top.
That's right, the top 3 teams fought through that session, but it was the last 2 events for Arizona, the balance beam and the floor exercise, both scores over 49 that sealed the deal and set the score to beat coming into this session.
Those your team scores. Our event leaders include 2 in the top all-around California freshman Tony Ann Williams and Washington junior Allison Northey. Both went 39.325. The best performance in the afternoon, well, that went to Arizona's Jessie Sisler. The last performance of the day on the floor, and she throws up a 9.95. Tonight, the Salt Lake sky will be filled with stars, beginning with Utah's own Georgia DeBritz. Amanda, she's a 4-time Pac-12 champion, and at this meet last year, she won 3 events.
Well, she has had an absolutely phenomenal season this year. She added balance beam into her schedule and has become a consistent all-around competitor for this Utah team. She's also added 4 more perfect 10s, 3 on bars, and 1 on this event, the vault.
Georgia DeBritz, 74 career victories. UCLA's Sam Peshek, the Olympic silver medalist. She's also the defending Pac-12 champion on the balance beam.
And she is one of the fiercest competitors you will see in this country. She is outstanding on all 4 events, but hasn't done all around much because they've been saving her for this moment, the championship season, and Samantha Peshek's magic.
Peshek's got the street cred and the goods to back it up. Stanford's Taylor Rice. She's got 11 individual wins this year, and she's ranked number 14 in the country in the all-around. She's a threat.
Well, she is solid on all 4 events and is capable of scoring 9.9 or better on all 4 of them. But tonight, we're only going to see her on vault, beam, and floor because for Stanford, they have added one of their stars, Elizabeth Price, back into the bar lineup.
Oregon State's Maddie Gardner, 9 wins for her this year, and last year she was an NCAA qualifier in the all-around.
Well, she is one of the most beautiful gymnasts you will get to watch tonight. She is one of 2 all-arounders for this Oregon State team. She is very strong on this event, the floor exercise as well as the balance beam, which she will be anchoring on tonight. And for Oregon State, they're going to need her leadership today.
They compete for months. They train for years, but they dream about this night all their lives. It's the Pac-12 Women's Gymnastics Championships. It's live, and it's next from a sold-out Huntsman Center in Salt Lake City, and only on the Pac-12 Networks.
This Pac-12 Gymnastics production is brought to you in HD by Xfinity, Time Warner Cable, Cox, and Bright House.
The Pac-12 Women's Gymnastics Championships is presented by State Farm. It pays to double check. Talk to your agent today. They're spoiled inside the Huntsman Center. The University of Utah Red Rocks are the number 4 team in the country. They're 11-1. Tori Wilson, one of the star seniors, her last appearance on the home floor. And Georgia DeBritz. Those have been the 2 marquee women for this program for the last 4 years. And earlier this year, DeBritz and Wilson teamed up to make history. Tori Wilson dominated this event last year.
Wow, the amount of height she gets off the table.
And it's a perfect 10 for Tori Wilson.
Here's Georgia DeBritz.
This crowd wants another 10, and they get it. Back-to-back 10s. What a way to start tonight.
Nothing new for either one of those young women. In fact, Georgia DeBritz has 7 career 10s. She has 4 of them this year. Tori Wilson, right there, is last year's all-around defending champion. Corey Lothrop, who will lead off on vault, is the 2012 all-around champion. 15,000 inside the Huntsman Center. 4 teams left. 4 teams are finished. The score to beat, Arizona's 196-225. For the first time tonight, they go quiet at the Huntsman Center. Corey Lothrop starts it off.
And a strong start. They have an amazing vault lineup. We're gonna see some of the best vaults in the country. Beautiful technique, form, perfect in the air. For this lineup, it all comes down to that landing.
Utah has the #1 lineup on the vaults in the country. Corey Lothrop has a career high of 9.9. We will give her score when we go back to the vault. Now we move over to the challengers. UCLA, #7 in the country. And just like Utah, UCLA is 11-1. Danusha Francis begins the Bruins' quest for a championship on the uneven bars. She's number 28 individually on this event. She has gone 9.925.
She is beautiful to watch on this event. Starts off big right here at the top of the routine. Releases to that high bar. Brings it back to the low bar. Perfect handstand there. 3 releases connected. So all that's left now is the dismount. Little off balance there on that giant full. She always comes off early on that dismount, but that was one of the best I've ever seen.
Danusha Francis has 6 wins this year, but none have come on the uneven bars. 4 on the balance beam and 2 on the floor. Cerise Witherby just celebrated her senior night in Corvallis. Starts off the Beavers on the balance beam. You're watching the Pac-12 Women's Gymnastics Championships from Salt Lake City on the Pac-12 Networks live. This is session number 2. Session number 1 earlier today, Arizona was the top scoring team, 196-225. Now we're down to our final 4. Utah, UCLA, Stanford, and Oregon State. Cerise Witherby for Oregon State on the balance beam in the leadoff spot.
Well, tough position to be in to start on this event is very difficult. We talked about it earlier, just keeping your adrenaline and your nerves under control, as well as being the leadoff for the team. We have watched her all season be able to handle that pressure, and all she has left is the dismount. It's a big one. She does a double tuck, double pipe, strong landing there, and a solid start for Oregon State.
Last 5 meets, Cerise Witherby has been up on the balance beam. Her season best was a 9.85. She's been 9.8 the last 2 times. Stanford is scheduled to start off with Sam Shapiro. Stanford on the floor, number 23 in the nation. This, its weakest event. They need to get off to a good start.
You can see she has her right leg wrapped. She actually irritated it during some conditioning. She said, doesn't think it's going to be a problem today, but we're going to test it right here on the first event. No problem on that first pass.
Amanda, I find conditioning irritating as well.
I had a chance to talk to head coach Kristen Smith at the beginning of the season because I asked her, I feel like the Stanford team is some of the strongest athletes, and oh, a mistake there. She pulled that chin through and tucked. That could affect her start value, but she mentioned that they really decided that they're focusing on being in the best shape of their life, and that's where conditioning and fitness plays a big role.
Shapiro season high on the floor at 9.875, and it came right here at Utah.
Big finish, double pike.
Stanford is ranked number 13 in the country, and they had a tough schedule and a bit of a spotty start, but this is a team that could surprise, threaten, and win this entire thing if they can put 4 rotations together.
Well, you could see that when she landed between those two elements, her knees buckled out a little bit, so she bent her legs. We'll see if that affects that start value score.
Samantha Partika is next up. Corey Lothrop was the leadoff for Utah, so everybody's gone once.
Wow. Beautiful vault. Last week she scored a 9.85, and that might be better. The technique is what really stands out. Beautiful in the air. Look at the amount of distance they're getting, and really the only deduction is on the landing.
Partika, a freshman from Katy, Texas, broke into the vault lineup right at the end of the season. Her career best is a 9.925. That number's going to be close. Danusha Francis started out UCLA with a 9.875. Sonia Mraz.
Starts her routine right on the high bar. Strong combination work. Right back up to the high bar, very nice.
Mraz has hit 9.85 2 times this year. Both of them came against Stanford in dual meets.
Well, this has been a beautiful routine. Hitting that last handstand and finishing it out. Double layout. Pike down a little bit. Small step on the landing.
She's been a little inconsistent this year. Crowd responding to scores coming in from other events. Will continue to pass on the numbers. This is a very savvy gymnastics crowd. Witherby, 9.75, starter for Oregon State. Second up, Sylvia Calusi-Paleth, sophomore from Ontario.
Difficult opening leap sequence there. Dropped her head back. Anytime you take your eyes off the beam in an arena this size, it's very easy to lose your balance and focus. Coming right back, great save there on that back handspring layout step out. You could see her hips were completely turned sideways.
Originally began her career at Florida, but transferred from one corner of the country to the other.
Strong dismount, side aerial to that layout full.
Calusi-Paleth suffered through a December injury. Has battled back and is almost 100%, but at this time of year, nobody is really 100%. 9.75 for Shapiro. Rachel Dom, second up for Stanford on the floor. Season high by far is a 9.875, and that too, like Shapiro, came on this floor at the Huntsman Center in Salt Lake City.
Solid double pike to open the routine.
Score to beat on the floor. Jesse Sisler from Arizona with a 9.95 earlier today. Highest score is the Pac-12 champion.
Second tumbling pass, that 1.5 through the front layout. We talk about it. Every gymnast has to earn 5/10 back to start from a perfect 10. They can get those 5/10 through combinations, as well as the big elements like the opening tumbling pass, double pike. They can also earn those points through leaps and jump connections as well. Strong finish. Very nice.
Rachel Dahm for Stanford. Back over to the vault where we now have a new leader. Earlier this morning, Tony Ann Williams from Cal and Haley Burleson from Washington had gone 9.875. But now Partyka from Utah puts up that 9.9. She is now the leader. Kari Lee, freshman, Peoria, Arizona, on the vault, has 2 wins and a career high 9.925.
Absolutely beautiful. She has been so fun to watch this year. She came in as a freshman. We've seen her perform flawlessly, but this was probably one of the best vaults we've seen. Beautiful technique off the table. You could see she lifted completely before she started that twist. That gives her time to see the ground, land, and be in control.
We expect to see Kari Lee on at least 3 events tonight besides the vault, the balance beam, and the floor. Raz goes 9.8, so UCLA's off to a good start. Sofina De Jesus now in the 3 spot for the Bruins. Junior from Temecula, halfway between LA and San Diego and a bit inland. Season high 9.9. She's been 9.8 or better the last 3 weeks.
Strong opening there, connection with that Ginger. She was a little close, so there was a small leg separation.
2009 U.S. national team member, winding up for the dismount.
And strong finish. Full twisting double back.
Bruin bench likes it. There's an 8 clap breaking out inside the Huntsman Center. A little pocket of blue in all this sea of red.
Well, she had nice position, beautiful tap, excellent height, and finished that routine out nice and strong.
$9.725 for Calusi Palef. Here's Risa Perez. You just caught her dancing a little bit. She gets out of bed dancing. This kid is always in a good mood, plays to the crowd, plays to the cameras, and eventually you just wind up loving her.
Always fun to watch. You don't see too many athletes smiling and dancing before they get on the balance beam. We've talked about that. Most athletes approach this event very serious. For her, it seems like the more fun she's having, the better zone that she gets in for competition.
3 victories for her. 1 came on the balance beam.
Front aerial to that back handspring, meeting that tumbling requirement. Every gymnast required tumbling, the full turn, leaps, jumps, and of course, mounts and dismounts on this event.
Risa Perez was part of the Pac-12 Championships last year as well, but in a different color Leo. She was at Arizona State. She transferred to Oregon State. I was talking with Mike Chaplin, the associate head coach of Oregon State, and he told me the crowd has already fallen in love with her in Corvallis. I think that took 1 night. We were there opening night.
That's right. She brings such great energy to this team. And we always have a smile on our face when we're watching her. She dismounts here, gainer full off the side. Lots of fun, lots of personality, and a great routine.
How do you not like that? I mean, watching anybody perform with such joy. Look, she's gonna make sure she touches everybody. 9.825 for Dom. Christina Vakulik, one of the veterans, one of the stars, and certainly one of the most recognizable faces in collegiate gymnastics. A 2012 Olympian for Canada when they finished 5th, best ever for that country.
Well, we haven't seen her a lot on this event. In fact, last week was her first time competing. She had been working on her endurance and her strength, and they are happy to have her back. She scored a 9.9 in the 1 routine that she has done this season.
I was at UCLA. Vakulik's been through an awful lot, not just in her career, but this year in particular. She missed the first 4 meets of the year with an illness, so then her stamina and her training was a little bit behind, but it didn't take her long. All of a sudden, she started bumping up all of her numbers, and everything is a 9.875 or better.
Well, and she just doesn't bring good scores. She is a tremendous leader for this team in her confidence and her consistency.
First team all Pac-12 in the all-around last year.
Strong throughout this routine. Finishing it up with a double pike. No problem on endurance today, that is for sure. It is so great to see her back out strong and competing for this team.
Back to the vault where we have a new leader. Party cut didn't last long at the top of the table. Kari Lee went 9.95, and here's Tori Wilson, who has a perfect 10 this year. Tori Wilson is a house favorite. If she hits, this place will erupt. Wow.
That is exactly what just happened. This place, you can barely hear in here.
And this crowd is already up and demanding a 10. They've seen it before, many times this year.
Well, this is the highest vault you'll probably see today. And she nails the landing. Beautiful in the air, phenomenal distance. She knows exactly where she is to open it up and land it perfect.
Tori Wilson is number 8 in the nation on this event. She has 2 career perfect 10s, and look at her teammates. They're staring at the judges. Meantime, DeJesus, 9.875 for UCLA. Hallie Mozette, her first appearance here on the bars. Crowd's reacting. 4 judges, they all have to agree for it to be a 10. And they do. 4 aces and a 10 for Tori Wilson.
And now she has to mount the bar with this noise. She's got to stay focused. Perfect release there. Jim, we talk about it all the time. For me as an athlete, I love to compete in a loud environment, but this is not easy to do. The sign just went up. It says 10.0, and this crowd is going crazy. Hallie Mozette is nailing this routine.
Oh, that is gutsy by Mozette. In this din, this cacophony of noise, steps up and delivers. Her season high had been a 9.875. That number should be close. That's an amazing performance in this kind of an environment. You can train all you want, but you can't train with the sound of 15,000 crazy Utah gymnastics fans in your ears. 9.85 for Risa Perez. That ties the score to beat on the balance beam. Lexi Mills, Madison Cindric, Desiree Palomares all went 9.85 earlier today. Katiana McMillan now, as everyone quiets back down. Her season high on this event, 9.85. She's hit it 3 times.
Strong kick over front, directly connected to that back handspring. We are seeing a lot of front to back series nowadays, and the judges specifically looking for that solid connection.
Katiana McMillan, sophomore from Coburg, Oregon, was an NCAA qualifier on the balance beam last year. This is her best event. She is scheduled to go on all 4 tonight.
Dismounting gainer layout full. 4 so far and 4 hits.
Could be an interesting night. Katiana McMillan has only gone in the all-around 1 time, and it happened last week, and she went 39.4. She could be a spoiler. Vakulik, 9.9 for Stanford, the veteran, stepping up. And here's Taylor Rice. Taylor Rice has been hot and cold this year. When she's hot, she's as good as anybody in this room. Junior from Las Vegas. She's number 40 in the country on the floor. She has 4 victories this year.
Big first tumbling pass. We watched her earlier in the season. She can perform a full in. She tweaked her shoulder doing it, and ever since she stayed clean on this event, delivering consistent scores as well.
Last time Taylor Rice was in this room against Utah in the dual meet, 39.425 in the all-around to finish 2nd. On the floor that night, 9.85.
Final tumbling pass. Finishing double tuck. Great routine.
Taylor Rice has had a great season, a team high 11 wins, including 5 in the all-around. He told us in the open she's only scheduled to go in 3. Tori Wilson's 10 is on the board. There's Tori just off to the right, already a cheerleader. She makes the transition. She's your new leader on the vault. Kyla Delaney now for Utah. Does it ever stop?
We talked about this earlier this season. They've got some phenomenal athletes, and it becomes a competition amongst themselves. Tori delivers perfection, so now she's got to come back and do another strong vault. She had that little slide of the left foot. Tell you what, these judges, they are very good at watching and separating the best, so it should be close.
Look at all the amazing talent. You think you just catch up, and then you look up, and here comes Sam Pesek. And nobody is better under pressure than Sam Pesek. Even Utah fans love her.
Well, it's hard to not love her. She is fun to watch. She's dynamic. Like I mentioned, one of the best competitors I've ever watched. Huge release move there.
She's ranked in the top 16 on all 4 events. Here on the bars, number 15, season high 9.975. Every one of her scores this year has been a 9.875 or better, except for 1.
Well, and the reason why is it's her details. Small hop there, but she hit every single handstand in that routine. Her form throughout, her perfect toe point.
She's won 16 events, and she's only entered 35. So she's just under 50% winning.
Well, look at that. She held that handstand there for the judges, saying, hey,
show 'em.
Just want to let you know, I hit every single one of them.
Yeah, I'm in complete control here. If anybody's going to feed off a crowd, whether it's with her or against her, it's Sam Pesek. 9.825 for Katiana McMillan, now Chelsea Tang.
Last week, she struggled on this event, scoring a 9.175.
But she's still in the top 20 in the country based on her body of work. Has a career high of a 9.925.
Small balance check there. The kick over front, I believe she was trying to directly connect that to the back handspring. Changing it up a little bit. Back handspring connecting to that gainer layout.
She's been so good for 3 years, and at the beginning of the season, looked like she was going to have a great senior campaign, and things have gone a little sideways on her. She does have 3 balance beam victories, showing off the flexibility right there.
And I always love the Utah crowd. They appreciate great gymnastics regardless of the team.
Yeah, they're colorblind. They just react. Then they put on their rose-colored glasses.
Dismounting back handspring to the gainer layout full. Nice recovery.
Oregon State is 12th on the balance beam as a team. 9.875 for Rice. Pauline Hansen.
Opens with a front double full.
Senior from Knoxville. She's been in a bit of a slump on the floor. In fact, the last time she was here on the floor, she had just a 9.325. Got to put that memory out of her mind. Her season high is a 9.9.
Well, those first 2 tumbling passes are very difficult. They have a lot of twistings. They can be hard to land. But so far today, no problem. Setting up for the final tumbling pass. 2.5 twist. Very nice.
Hansen, like a lot of Stanford athletes, an excellent student as well, wants to be a doctor, says she'd like to be a pediatrician. Look at these numbers. The lowest is a 9.85. And here comes Georgia DeBritz. And just like the PA announcer, that's all you have to say. She's number 3 in the country and has a perfect 10. Uh-oh, here they come again.
Well, she can do a Yurchenko 1.5. She opted for the Yurchenko level. She struggled last week on the 1.5, so this was a smart decision. Let's keep our eyes on the feet when she lands. Do they move? Not at all.
Tom Farden in the background, assistant coach at Utah, just screaming at the Raptors because that's how it's done. Little step.
Little leaned back on that landing.
Yeah. I remember when Carly Patterson won at the Olympics, the Russian did that same thing. That tried to cover the momentum with the step. Peshek 9.875, UCLA is having a good rotation on uneven bars. You see head coach Valerie Condos-Field in the background with the clipboard. Christine Pang Lee, what a story she has been. We'll have a chance to tell it during the night. She's number 4 in the nation on this event. She has gone 9.95 3 times.
Well, difficult release down to the low bar where she does that full twist, and her form is perfect, and then she brings it right back. Oh no! Wow. Right back up with another difficult release. You see a lot of gymnasts perform that skill, but she adds a half turn, and she was just a little shy of getting enough distance to reach over and catch.
You remember we saw her opening night after 3 years on the shelf with an injury at Oregon State, came back, won the event on the bars, but the next week, same thing, she fell on bars.
Well, that's too bad because she is beautiful on this event, and it's very common for her to get into that 9.9 range. Still a strong rotation for UCLA. Their lowest score so far has been a 9.8. But it's always nice to get a few 9.9s in there.
9.725 for Chelsea Tang. You see there are 6 competitors on each event, but you only take your top 5 scores, so you can drop one.
Unique turn, sliding out to that split. Solid. Coming right back on handspring layout, step out. Beautiful sight semi.
Maddie Gardner has 3 wins on the balance beam this year, 9 wins overall.
It really seems that at the end of the season, she's really gained a lot more confidence, and that is key on this event. Beautiful routine, and she should be able to knock out the low score for them, which was a 9.725.
Yeah, punch in the sky. Maddie Gardner, as a freshman, was a qualifier NCAA all-around. It's quite an accomplishment. Hansen with a 9.825. And Haley Spector will close out Stanford's rotation on the floor. Haley Spector is a floor specialist. This will be her only appearance tonight. Career high 9.925. She did it twice, once against UCLA, once against Washington. 2013 Nevada State champion on this event.
Opened with a difficult double Arabian and came up a little short, but stayed on her feet, which is tough to do on that pass. It's a little rough on the connection there, but there again, stayed strong, finished the pass out. It was a nice routine, just some stumbles there on some of the landings of the tumbling passes.
Maddie Gardner got a 9.85 for Oregon State on the beam, but well, that first rotation belonged to Utah. And Tori Wilson, for the third time in her career, she is perfect. Scores after the first rotation, and how about Utah with a season high 49.675. Amanda, they were so good they threw back a 9.85. That fish isn't big enough when you're putting up 10s and 9.975s and 9.95s, and Greg Marsden is the architect of the entire thing. He's the only coach that Utah has ever had, and after 40 years he's become an overnight success. The New York Times has been here, CBS has been here, and of course the Pac-12 networks. Well, we've been here all along. Greg Marsden has won 1,029 meets in his career. He is the winningest coach in college gymnastics history. He has got to be stoked with what he saw in that first rotation. Tori Wilson, we almost called the shot a perfect 10 in front of 15,000 Red Rocks fans.
Well, we've watched her do this before, but to control that power on the first rotation, remember, this is the last time she will compete in this arena. She made the most of the moment. Absolutely beautiful. And the lowest score they counted in that rotation was a 9.85.
Earlier this year, Wilson and DeBritz went back-to-back 10s. This time, DeBritz almost 9.975. Maybe they got her right there on the step.
Well, it was pretty close to perfect, but you'll see as she salutes, she's a little off balance on that back step. So one of the judges took the deduction.
Over on the balance beam for Oregon State, Risa Perez, known as a floor performer, pretty good now on the balance beam as well, 9.85. And then on the floor exercise, Christina Vakulik, the veteran, under pressure, posts a 9.9.
Well, it was great to see her back in the lineup on this event for Stanford, and she was absolutely beautiful.
Couldn't be a highlight package without Sam Pesek. Best mark for UCLA with a 9.875.
Well, it was a strong routine throughout. She finished up with a double layout. That was really the only major deduction, that hop there.
UCLA also had 9.875s from Francis and De Jesus as well. So after one rotation, Utah is in front, and a tie for second right now between UCLA and Stanford, and Oregon State is just a half step behind. We've moved to our second rotation. UCLA to the vault, Utah to the bars, Stanford to the beam, and Oregon State to the floor. It's the Pac-12 Women's Gymnastics Championships live. Back inside the John Huntsman Center in Salt Lake City, on campus at the University of Utah, where the Red Rocks are number 4 in the country, but they're going to have to be at their best tonight, and so far they have, 49.675. Stanford has a chance to upset them tonight. Kristen Smith, 14th season. She's won nearly 80% of her meets. She's won twice as many meets as any other Stanford gymnastics coach. She has finished in the NCAA top 4 times. They started on their weakest event, the floor, and they're tied for second. I actually think Stanford has shown as much as Utah so far because they did it on their weakest event. Now they move to the vault. Or check it.
And a difficult pike front half for Pauline Hansen. We see those Yurchenko layout fulls over and over. It's the easiest vault that starts from a 10.0. This one starts from that same start value, but you've got to generate tremendous power right there off of her hands. Front pike half and nails the landing.
Hansen season high in that event, a 9.875. Utah moves over to the bars. Well, they were #1 in the country on the vault. They're #1 in the country on this event, the uneven bars. Brianna Hughes starts them off.
She was out of the lineup for a while with a forearm injury, so they are happy to have her back in that leadoff spot. Little short there on that handstand.
Her best this year is a 9.85, came at Arizona. She did have a 9.9 last year against UCLA. Winds up with a dismount.
Full twisting double back. Step on the landing.
Yeah, a little shaky there in that opener. That might be the only time we see Brianna Hughes tonight. Junior from Minnesota. Tough to break into lineups with all these stars in Salt Lake. Sonia Mraz will start off the Bruins on the beam. She had a 9.8 earlier on the uneven bars. Mraz has gone 9.85 on the beam in 3 out of the last 4 meets. Freshman from Santa Monica, California.
She has an important role as that leadoff for UCLA. We talk about how important this event is. Setting up for her tumbling series. Backhand swing layout, step out. Beautiful.
UCLA as a team is ranked 12th in the nation on the balance beam. But check it, actually UCLA is ranked 4th on the balance beam. They're 12th on the bars.
This is a great event to be solid on. As we all know, championships are won on this event. So putting up 6 great routines. Very important piece of this puzzle today. Nailing the dismount.
That's a good start. And once again, the UCLA chant starts at the Huntsman Center. Well, here's one of the good stories that nobody's talking about yet here at the Pac-12s, but they may be in just 2 minutes. Jamie Rademacher has just 1 appearance in college gymnastics. It came against Nebraska on the floor last week, 9.85.
Opens up, beautiful front double full to a punch front out.
Rademacher is a walk-on. Got a chance to compete when Kaylee Ponto got injured, one of the captains for Oregon State. She hadn't competed in 2 years. Transfer from Eastern Michigan last summer. And now she finds herself in the spotlight at the Pac-12 Championships. An important routine.
Fun routine to watch, and her first 2 tumbling passes have been very clean. Lots of twisting throughout this routine, sticking that full front tuck. Fun to watch.
If you want to join the conversation, hashtag Pac-12Gym. Let us know what you think, your reaction to what you're seeing. We've already seen a perfect 10 from Tori Wilson of Utah on the vault. Pauline Hansen went 9.85 for Stanford. Danny McNair, first time we've seen her. Sophomore from Orange County, Trabuco Canyon. Season high on this event, 9.875.
Very nice. We've watched her vault this year. She's got tremendous power. Been a little inconsistent on the landing. You can see right here. Spots the ground. She's a little off center there to the left.
9.75 starter on bars for Utah's Brianna Hughes. And here's Bailey Rowe for the first time. Bailey Rowe is starting to build a following here in Salt Lake City. She's a sophomore from Federal Way, and she has career highs of 9.875 or better on all 4 events already. Again, just a sophomore.
Beautiful handstand work. I've talked about it. They have a red line on a TV in the gym, making sure they hit every single handstand in the routine, and that is what gets them to that 9.9 range.
Bailey Rowe's career high came last week at Georgia, 9.9. The only meet this year in which Utah has been defeated. Georgia number 10 in the country. And Utah still put up a big number, 197.275 in that one. Sonia Mraz goes 9.85 for UCLA. And Jordan Williams, a late change here in the UCLA lineup in the 2 spot. Jordan Williams went 3 years, University of Arizona, graduated, decided to go grad school at UCLA, had a year left, came out, and she's really just been a vaulter all season long. Now they put her up on the beam.
Well, she looks confident. I watched her in the one-touch warm-up, and she struggled on that tumbling element, but it looked like there was no doubt in her mind.
She's UCLA's first ever graduate transfer. She's a top 20 vaulter. Just got her balance off and couldn't save it.
Yeah, kick over front. Tough part about those front elements, you land on the beam before you even know you're crooked, and it's very difficult to save. Dismounting, gainer layup full.
Well, let's keep in mind that UCLA had a problem on uneven bars. Peng Peng Lee only went 9-4, but they were able to scratch it, keep the other 5 scores, and hold on to second place. Now they have to do the same, but they have to do it over the last 4 competitors. Radermaker 9.85, so she's done very well in that spot coming off the bench. Cerise Witherby. Cerise started the meet on beam for Oregon State with a 9.75.
Lots of energy in this routine. In fact, we used to watch this routine as the leadoff a lot, and it just kind of really set the tone for this rotation.
She was always the leadoff.
Big opening.
Stayed in.
Wow, right to that white line.
Step on that, it's a 10th deduction.
Even making the judges smile watching this routine.
Yeah, right in front of them. 4 judges tonight, throw out the high and low. Average out the other 2.
Beautiful combination.
Cerise set a career high on this event last week at 9.925. She's been hot lately. Her last 3 have been 9.85 or better. Even the crowd in Utah is clapping along with her. It's infectious. Cerise in 2 events today, and as it worked out, they're the first 2, so she'll be finished after this.
Oh,
stepped out that time. Flag goes up.
Yep.
Well, she flirted with it the first time, and that second time, a little tired, stepping back. That's the hardest ticket in town. Sold out for session number 2. There'll be over 15,000 in here. They had over 16,000 against Michigan for their final home meet. That is standing room only. The last guy in the building that night was the fire marshal, Danny McNair, 9.8. Christina Vikulik, she already went 9.9 on the floor to start her night.
Beautiful. We saw her vault earlier in the season. She had some struggles, not getting enough speed and amplitude, but she has got her strength back.
That's only her 6th vault of the season.
Yeah, and a few of them were down in that 9.6 range. That score should be back up there. You could see much better power, positioning there on that landing.
Yeah, you're right. She had a 9.925 as a career high at Cal, but the other 4 were all under 9.8s. 9.85 for Bailey Rowe. Here's Tori Wilson off that 10, and the crowd remembers.
Well, and last week on this event, she scored a 9.9.
She's top 25 on the bars. Season high, 9.9 against Arizona State.
Big combination work there at the top. Those two major releases connected.
7 straight scores of 9.825 or better. Here's the dismount. Even Georgia DeBritz was impressed.
She is so consistent on those landings. And with the amount of power she has, that is not an easy task.
She is the defending all-around champion from last year's Pac-12s, and she wasn't getting a lot of love coming in. Everybody was talking about her teammate DeBritz.
Well, one thing that we always love about Tori Wilson is she just has that infectious smile all the time. Makes it fun to watch and makes us smile along as well.
Just the 9.15 after Williams fell on beam. Now the pressure on De Jesus, Francis, Lee, and Peshek. De Jesus had a 9.875 on bars. She's quietly becoming one of UCLA's best gymnasts.
This event is a strength of hers. She's consistent, she has nice rhythm. She actually moves a lot quicker than most gymnasts on this event.
Well, you've already nailed it. Her season high is a 9.85. She's done it 5 times, including the last 4. So absolute consistency at a high level. Sofina De Jesus.
This routine could very well match that score. She has been solid throughout, and all that's left is the dismount. Oh, and the moonwalk.
Throwing in a moonwalk, and we haven't seen that from her this year.
She dismounts right here off the end. It's a gainer front full, and a nice rebound for UCLA.
3-time USA Championships qualifier. 9.725 for Witherby after she stepped out. Here's Risa Perez. You don't have to say much. You just turn up the music, lean back, and enjoy.
Strong double pike to open this routine up.
She's been on fire 7 straight at 9.825 or better. 7 in a row.
Well, and this is a show for her. She is here to put on a performance. You sometimes forget it's a competition when you're watching this routine.
To say that Risa Perez is unique would be redundant, but one thing that does make her stand out even on this event, ever since she was a level 8 kid, she cut and choreographs her own floor exercise, her own music. It's all her. This is her personality.
But it gives you a good view of her personality.
Yeah. And wait till you see the end. Remember, she transferred from Arizona State to Oregon State, where their mascot is the Beavers. Wait till the end.
Well, the fun thing about her is, like you mentioned, she's like this all the time. You walk into the arena, the competition hasn't even started. She's bouncing around anybody's floor music, the music that's on.
She must have been exhausting for her parents. And there it is, the chainsaw. And the Utah crowd loves it.
She is always fun to watch. And she had outstanding tumbling throughout this routine. This pass right here, nice combination work. That front half, right to a Shushanova, so no landing deductions there. You can't take a step when you're landing on your stomach.
Even making her teammates laugh. 9.8 for Vakulik. So a 9.85 and 2 9.8s. And here's Taylor Rice.
Jim, she has a great vault, but I have watched her over and over bounce out of this landing, so she's got to bend her knees and absorb this power.
A little bit of a bounce, but not as bad as we've seen in the past. She has 1 win on this event. A 9.9 is her best.
She is so quick and fast. You'll see right here, when she hits the floor, she's almost too tight. She just rebounds all the time. Quite often we see her bounce 2 or 3 feet in the air. This time it was just that step back, so a small improvement.
She was really sharp mid-season and now is just a little off, trying to polish that here today. Tori Wilson, 9-9 to go with her 10. Wilson has now made a strong bid early to repeat as the all-around champion. Cassandra Lopez for the Red Rocks of the University of Utah. This is her only event, career high 9.925.
And a great save at the top of this routine. That giant fold directly connected to that major release was almost sideways, but she was able to pull it out. Didn't even miss a beat, which is tough to do on this event. She finishes it out, double layout.
Oh, wow. Lopez has had nothing under a 9.85 all year, and that's not going under 9.85. They're on their feet again.
Well, she had that bobble in the middle of the routine at the beginning, but nailed this double layout. That's experience right there, not letting one little small mistake mess it up. In fact, she finished that routine stronger than we've probably seen this season. Redshirt
junior from Tucson, was the regional runner-up in 2013 on the uneven bars. De Jesus, 9.825 for UCLA. Here's Danusha Francis. She started before we could set it up. Both her mount and her dismount, unlike anything else in the country. This is a big moment for UCLA. They needed a score out of Danusha Francis.
Beautiful side aerial. Comes right back with the front aerial. Directly connected to that back handspring. You could see that her arm movements were a little unclear. I can't put some question in the judge's mind if she gets that connection that she needs.
Ranked number 3 in the country on this event. 6 wins. Overall, 4 have come on the balance beam. And in 3 of her last 4, she has gone 9.95. Here's the short story. She's really good on beam. And wait for the dismount.
Beautiful flexibility on the full turn. This point in the routine, this is when you know the dismount is coming. You mentioned it. This beam is 4 inches wide. She's going to do a side aerial sideways on it, connected to the dismount, and keep a close eye on those feet. Right here. Perfect. Wow, that might have been the best one we've seen all season.
Just going to say the same thing, Amanda. Jordan Weaver, the first one up to meet her, team manager for UCLA, former Olympian. How good is this?
Watch this. She has to land back on that 4 inches, make both feet on, and get a strong push off for that full twist.
Oh, she owned it. She knew she had it. Valerie Condos with the hug and the I told you so. You were going to nail it at Pac-12s. Chelsea Tang waits to be introduced. The 9.9 goes to Risa Perez.
See a very different routine from Chelsea. Very elegant. Complete opposite of what we saw from Risa Perez.
But she can score. She has a 9.95 this year.
Opens with an effortless double pike.
Score to beat on floor. Arizona's Jessie Sisler from the morning was a 9.95. You wonder if Jessie's in the building or back at the hotel, watching in the dark, trying to hold on for a championship.
I'm sure she's watching. Finishing it out. beautiful tumbling in this routine. Elegant choreography, beautiful tumbling. You mentioned that season high, that's what she got last week. She might have just matched that.
Last year, all Pac-12 and an NCAA qualifier in the all-around. It's been an up and down year for Chelsea Tang. Been kind of the backbone of that program for the last 4 years, and a nice moment for her. One of the stars of this senior class, not just for Oregon State, but across the conference. How about that consistency? 3 straight 9.8s for Stanford after the 9.85. Nikki McNair now.
There it is.
She's got a 9.925 on vault this year.
Well, that was the kind of landing they needed right now. They have beautiful vaults. It's all about the landing, and you can see she has great power, speed, height, bends those knees, grips the mat, and stays down on it.
Last year, she was a top 20 performer on the vault. This year, just outside the top 20. Getting a lot of love. 9.925 for Cassandra Lopez means she is in first place now on the uneven bars. A new leader, Cassandra Lopez, 9.925. That's the new number to beat on the uneven bars. Here's Corey Lothrop. Corey Lothrop was the 2012 Pac-12 all-around champion.
Opens up right with the release. Jaeger, perfect distance. Excellent handstand.
Number 15 in the nation on bars.
We see a lot of great gymnastics, but what makes Utah so excellent on this event is those handstands. We've seen phenomenal scores in those 9.8s.
What was wrong with that?
They've hit the dismounts, they've nailed the handstands, and that's the only way to get in that 9.9 range in this conference championship.
Corey Lothrop was the 2008 U.S. Olympic alternate.
Wow.
She just threw open a really impressive bars. I don't know, you want to be a judge right now? What's wrong with that thing? Can you give another 10?
Well, we talked about it earlier, we've seen more this year, we feel like, than we've ever seen in the past, but this is well-deserving gymnastics.
And now we have a new leader on the balance beam as well.
Watch this mount, Jim. Peng Peng Lee. She does the Hama flares to start this routine out. The crowd loves it. Pressure is on because they had that mistake early on. The tough part for her is that she struggled last week.
The Hama flares for Christine Peng Peng Lee, named after Leah Hama, UCLA's NCAA 97 National Championship team and a former Pac-10 champion as well.
This is where she struggled last week, and she looks confident. She fell on that element last week and had a bobble. Looks like she is on a mission to redeem those mistakes.
Danusia Francis's 9.875 is the new top mark on the balance beam.
Solid. That's where she wobbled as well. No problems today. She struggled on the uneven bars earlier. But this was just about perfect.
Yeah, how about that comeback? Maybe up on the toes on the landing, had to step out of it. But coming off that disappointing performance on the bars, first one there to greet her, Coach Val.
Well, here's the dismount. Double full, and watch this landing. She's gripping onto that mat. You can see she's a little on the front of it, but not a major deduction.
Back-to-back 9.9s. Risa Perez and Chelsea Tang go back-to-back for Oregon State. Maddie Gardner waits in the 5 spot. Gardner on the floor, 2 victories this season, number 31 in the country.
On a big routine last week, she scored a 9.925 on this event.
Thought it was
Great
short,
save,
yeah.
You could see her legs started to buckle on that connection.
Gardner had a 9.85 on balance beam in the first rotation.
She needs to finish strong right here.
It's Tanya Chaplin, her head coach, in the background.
Held
Stuck
on to
that
it.
final tumbling pass.
She's a fighter. She could have easily made a major mistake on that second tumbling pass, but she held on to it, stayed calm, and finished that routine strong.
Oregon State's low score so far on the floor is a 9.725. That should be better than that. McNair, 9.875 for Stanford. Now, Stanford's low score is those 9.8s right in the middle. And Elizabeth Price is one of the best in the country on this event. Ranked number 6 with 6 wins, and she too has a perfect 10 this year on vault.
Wow, little hop there at the end. You have to remember she competed a vault with the 2.5 twists. So your Checo layout full is pretty easy for her. You can see right there, lots of power. Just that little slide of her feet.
How good has she been this year? A freshman for Stanford, 10 wins in 12 events. Is that about 93%? It's a pretty good win ratio. Lothrop, 9.95. That is the score to beat as Georgia DeBritz steps up to her signature event, the uneven bars, for the last time at the Huntsman Center.
Beautiful handstands. Remember, no grips. Very difficult on those release moves to handle that force.
She's number 1 in the nation on this event, has perfect 10s 3 times this year.
Well, Jim, I have not seen a deduction yet, and all that's left is the dismount right here.
Just stop it. That's how she came to the University of Utah. She was a bars specialist. Her freshman year, that's all she did. Each year she added an event. Now she's in the all-around, but that's still one of the sweetest moments of every meet here at the Huntsman Center, to watch DeBritz on the bars. And I don't even know if people are realizing that's the last time they're going to see it.
She is so consistent on that event, and there was that slight hop at the end, but should be a huge score.
9.925 for Peg Peng Lee. That's a nice bounce back for her after the trouble on the bars. Peshek went 9.875 on the bars. Once again, she's in the anchor spot here on the balance beam. Remember, she's the defending champion in the Pac-12 on this event.
Nice combination there. Dancing right out of it.
Currently ranked number 2 in the country on the beam. Has gone 9.95 4 times.
We've seen her do a variety of different routines. Sticking with this back handspring layout, step out right to the full twist.
Well, people in this arena must remember when UCLA was here against Utah in a dual meet, it was not a good night for UCLA, but Sam Peshek and Georgia DeBritz at the time were 1 and 2 in the country in the all-around. DeBritz finished on the floor, took the lead. Peshek had to finish on the beam right after her. With this place going crazy, Peshek stepped up, delivered, and won the all-around, and the grudging respect of the Red Rock fans.
Opening tumbling pass for McMillan. Nice combination, staying there on her feet. At this point for Oregon State, they're hoping to drop out that 9.725 early in the rotation. Beautiful combination work there, finishing with the front layout.
That score moments ago on the beam by UCLA's Peng Peng Lee, 9.925, top score on the beam. Breakdancing, nice. Old school.
Finishing front 1.5 twist. We have seen some great gymnastics this rotation.
Well, Peng Peng Lee did not last very long at the top of the table. On the balance beam, she was just dismounted by her teammate, Samantha Peshek, who went 9.95. But this is maybe the moment you remember going home. Janusha Francis, 9.875 with the side summy backflip dismount. Two rotations in, and Utah has gone big. 49.675 on vault. That's the best they've done this year. 49.55 on uneven bars is just underneath their season high. 99.225. They have a half a point lead halfway home. Corey Lothrop went 9.95 for Utah. They had many good scores. This was the best.
Well, this was a big rotation. She was absolutely beautiful. Perfect form throughout this routine. And then finishes double layout, nailing the landing. You mentioned lots of big scores. They had 4 over 9.9.
One of our favorites, Risa Perez, on the floor with a 9.9. She already had a 9.85 on beam.
Well, solid rotation for Oregon State. She was third up, and that is when the momentum turned. She was clean throughout this routine, lots of personality, and always one of our favorites to watch.
Sam Peshek, one of the favorites in the all-around, already had a 9.875 on bars, comes back with a 9.95, the highest mark on the balance beam. The defending champion, once again, at the top of the standings.
Well, and that was big because they had to bail out of a 9.15 second in that rotation. And for Stanford, their anchor, the biggest score of the night as well for them, a 9.95 for Elizabeth Price.
And remember, Price has won 10 of her 12 events, and now she's in first place on that, a chance to go 11 out of 13. That's pretty good stuff. Freshman, she and Tony Ann Williams of California, the two favorites for Freshman of the Year. Those awards will be announced sometime during the night. We'll try and give them to you during our 4th rotation, along with Coach of the Year, Special Performance of the Year. It'll all be unveiled tonight. 2 rotations down, 2 rotations to go. Utah, number 4 in the country. UCLA, number 7. Oregon State, 12, and Stanford, 13. It's the Pac-12 Finals.